What is good, YouTube? It's your boy, and as you can see, it says Spider-Man. Where are they now? What happened to original cast? Now, before we get into this video, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. Other than that, let's see what happened to little Spidey.
We all know that Spider-Man No Way Home is easily the most anticipated Spider-Man movie ever, but why is it exactly that everyone is looking forward to this flick so much? Well, for me personally, I'd say it has a lot to do with the fact that they're bringing the whole team back. Former original trilogy stars like Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, and Thomas Hayden Church have already been confirmed to be reprising their roles, while the OG Spider-Man himself, Tobey Maguire, is rumored to make it.
Hold on, say he turned to like a little thug song. Nigga got gold all in his mouth. He looked like he should have been the Goblin.
An appearance, and that's without even getting into the Amazing Spider-Man series cast, many of whom are set to return as well. Much like the rest of you, you've got Spider-Man on your mind. So what better time than now than to take a look back at the cast of the original trilogy to see what they've been up to since filming Wrapped on Spider-Man 3 more than 14 years ago. I've got my man Trey coming in to do hosting for this video. You know, he's new here, so please be nice in the comments. We are gonna delete anything that says anything bad about his forehead, so you know, be nice, guys.
Oh, Lord.
All right? Catch you guys at the end.
The forehead must be pretty big.
Arguably the most important part of any superhero movie is who gets the lead role. From Michael Keaton as Batman, to Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, to Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Every superhero film needs a strong actor to build their intended franchise around. Back in the early 2000s, filmmaker Sam Raimi found his leading man in Tobey Maguire and put together one of the most craziest audition tapes you've ever seen to help an actor get past his studio executives. Beyond his impressive action skills, Tobey would wind up winning a universal acclaim for his performance as Peter Parker, a teenage nerd who suddenly became gifted both in great power and tremendous responsibility.
Change? Yeah. Big change.
Hey yo, what the f?
But did you know that when it came down to Spider-Man 2, Tobey was almost replaced by Jake Gyllenhaal? No, I am not joking. After Tobey suffered a minor injury while filming the movie Seabiscuit, he was hoping for not only some time off, but an increase in pay as well. So in hopes of killing two birds with one stone, Tobey backed out of his contract, rescheduled Spider-Man 2, and asked for a delay to heal up while he was negotiating his new contract. Rather than agreeing to Tobey's ridiculous demands, the producers at Sony reached out to Jake Gyllenhaal to offer him the part instead. That sent Tobey back to the producers with his tail between his legs, and also with the promise that he would behave himself. It's kind of crazy to think that Spider-Man 2 would actually turn into the most critical successful movies to ever be made in the superhero franchise, and widely regarded as one of the best superhero films ever to be made. Sadly, the same cannot be said for the extremely criticized Spider-Man 3, which most fans only remember thanks to this scene.
I remember that.
Now, outside his performance as Spider-Man, Tobey hasn't really acted all that much in recent years. His last big performance was in the remake of Great Gatsby in 2013. He also revived a ton of praise for his performance in 2015 film Pawn Sacrifice, about a chess prodigy Bobby Fischer. Mostly though, the other thing that people tend to know about Tobey that he's a huge poker player. He was even part of an illegal gambling den that involved celebrities like Ben Affleck, Leonardo DiCaprio, and that was all set up together by Molly Bloom. In her 2015 memoir, she doesn't exactly paint Tobey as like one of the brightest of people. Turns out in real life, he's more or less like Emo Peter.
Out of the way! I can't see! There are cars there, mother. Get out of the way!
Ooh.
Yikes. Now, I'm really
I don't know if I like that Spider-Man no more.
hoping that Tobey shows up in this, because if he does, I want him and Andrew to do... You know the meme I'm talking about. If you were a teenager in the early 2000s, odds are one of the first women you ever had a crush on was Mary Jane Watson, portrayed as Kristen Dunst in the original Spider-Man film. There has never been a guy on this planet that has never thought about being Spider-Man, kissing a girl upside down after saving her. Every guy has thought about it, and if he says no, he's lying. Tell me I'm right. Thank you. Did you know that Kristen once told CNN that while filming this scene, Tobey was finding it so difficult to breathe that he was inhaling and exhaling throughout the side of his mouth the entire time? So it was just about as unromantic as it gets. I just really hope that Michael doesn't kiss Kara at the wedding that way. But it would be breathtaking. Alright, moving on. Since leaving Spider-Man behind, Kristen has definitely remained busy, appearing in projects like Hidden Figures and the spectacular television series Fargo. She also earned a Golden Globe nomination in 2020 for her role in Showtime series Becoming a God in Central Florida. Starring as Peter's best friend and eventual arch nemesis, James Franco appeared in the Spider-Man trilogy as Harry Osborn, one of his earliest big-time roles. Now, I'm not sure what all the accusations surrounding him are about, but I'm gonna cut it short and just leave it at there because I don't want to get in trouble. But then again, I can't have to give him credit for being in projects like The Disaster Artist and Stephen King's Kennedy miniseries, 11/22/63, and Spring Break along with Selena Gomez.
No.
11/22/63. And
James Franco, Spring Breakers. I don't know nothing about it, but dang, like, okay.
and Spring Break along with Selena Gomez.
I saw y'all on there. You like nice people. Thought maybe I'll bail you out.
Why?
I know.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that didn't really help his image, so
He
art
got
imitates
like a
life.
country
Sorry.
thug in the
Anyway.
movie.
Well then, let's move on to the next man who played James's father in the series, the even more sinister villain, William Dafoe. He was so damn creepy in this movie, he gave me nightmares as a kid. But given how I've seen him in Antichrist,
But I'm not really seeing like what this got to do with where he at now. Like, what's going on with him?
I shouldn't be surprised.
talking
Trust
about
me when I
movies
say
and stuff.
you do not want to watch that. William starred in films like Streets on Fire, The Hunger, and Oliver Stone Platoon,
Yeah,
and
we're
even
talking
more
about a
known
lot of
films like The
people.
Lighthouse and Aquaman. Damn, he's got good hair in Aquaman. And unlike Tobey and
He
Andrew,
must be
he
talking about
has
people
been
that was
confirmed
in
to
the movie,
actually
is what
appear
I'm
in
guessing.
Spider.
But if they was talking about people within the movie, they probably should have said that. Like, they just said Spider-Man. I'm thinking they talking about the dude himself. Like,
Spider-Man No Way Home. In 2004, back when Sam Raimi was looking to cast his big bad for the sequel to his first big mega hit, he landed the talented actor Alfred Molina, who had previously stolen roles in scenes like Frida, Boogie Nights, and Magnolia. Put it bluntly, he was the perfect choice to play a deranged mad scientist, Dr. Otto Octavius, better known as Dr. Octopus. Back in 2008, Thomas Hayden Church was coming up from his highly
Sandman.
acclaimed performance in the independent comedy Sideways, when he landed the role of Flint Marko, aka Sandman in Spider-Man 3. The special effects were so amazing even back then, but something about that scene always bothered me. You know that part where the scientist said,
There's a change in the silicon mass.
It's probably a bird. It'll fly away when we fire it up.
so did nobody say anything when the bird didn't fly away, or are we just gonna ignore that they basically just killed a man?
right.
Okay, guess not. We're moving on. Other than the effects and the cool action scenes, the movie was such a jumbled mess with way too many villains. Now, Venom is one of my top 3 Spider-Man villains of all time, but he was so not needed for this film. If it was just Sandman, this would have been a perfect movie. But let me get back onto Thomas Hayden Church. What has he been up to lately? From what I can gather up, he's been appearing alongside Jessica Parker in the HBO show Divorce.
I want a divorce.
Are you drunk?
If you've ever seen a Sam Raimi film before, then you would know each film needs 3 things: revolutionary camera angles, Sam's original 1973 Oldsmobile Delta, and Bruce Campbell. They're basic good luck charms. In the early 80s, Sam and Bruce first came up together in Michigan with their first low-budget horror series, The Evil Dead. Since then, Sam has put Bruce in damn near every movie he's ever made, including each of the Spider-Man films. In Spider-Man 1, he played a wisecracking wrestling promoter looking to put a young Peter Parker in his place.
What's your name, kid?
The human spider.
A human spider. That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Then in Spider-Man 2, he was the usher who refused to let Peter Parker into Mary Jane's starring performance.
I'm sorry, sir. No one will be seated after the doors are closed.
It helps maintain the illusion.
And finally, in Spider-Man 3, he was the French waiter who badly persuaded Peter into proposing to Mary Jane.
You want to pop the question tonight?
That's crazy. I didn't even realize that. That's
Huh?
Yes, and I want to do something very
crazy
special.
how they could dress him up in too much of a-
Romance.
and recognize
I
him
am
and
French.
really
It didn't go so well if you watched the film.
Fun fact, Bruce Campbell, he also voices all the Spider-Man video games.
Really?
Yeah, he like narrates them.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I did not know that. Sick. Okay. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up our latest performance of Where Are They Now? I'm so excited to see No Way Home. I cannot wait to see all these returning villains and what's going to be coming of the next Spider-Man films. Anyway, guys, it's my first time. Anyway, guys, it's my first time hosting here. Let me know how I did, and let me know if you want to see more of me down below. Until then.
Okay. This is a little crazy. All right. So I guess that was pretty much about, anyone that played within this, Spider-Man movie. But that's it for the video. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. If there's any videos you guys want to see me react to, make sure you drop it down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next